Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube fam? This is Sammy Legger here representing Team JVS. I am back here again for another movie review. This is for Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the movie. Um, I really enjoyed the first season. I just got done shooting my full review for it because I had watched it early on, but I didn't finish the latter part of the season. A lot of animes out there, and I was kind of like, before I completed this film, I was like, I need to go back and finish the whole entire thing because I was like, this is a whole prequel. So it's like, will I understand? Will it make sense? And one of the biggest things about the original one is the main character is Itadori. Itadori, Megumi, and Kugusuke are the main three. But there are upperclassmen that are second years in Toga, Panda, and Maki. And the weird thing about this one, and I was like, who is Yuta? The whole entire time I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, Megami is Yuta or Yuta is Megami because I saw the katana. I did not realize that Yuta is a fully realized character and it's very vastly different. The thing I'll say off about this movie is that it is good for repeated viewing because from my understanding, even though this is a prequel, I think this plays ties and foundations to the second season. There's just something that happens towards the end. There is an end credit scene, very vitally important. You go and watch that end credit sequence, but just certain things that are set up, it don't line up to me. And I was kind of like, what am I really watching here? What is really actually going on? And so as I'm seeing this movie, I was like, okay, I knew one that Jujutsu Kaisen in and of itself is a beautiful anime. Like it is gorgeous. Like when I say like the animation is good, like it is one of the best looking hand-to-hand combat animes that I've seen in a long time. And that it's interesting because I think when I saw it, I think the God of High School came out, and that was phenomenal. But this movie had a lot to look forward to, and not just that. Mappa is being involved. Like, okay, this is at least gonna look gorgeous. But let's go ahead and kind of break down what I thought about this. So first, again, the biggest thing is the animation, the fights, the action. It is straight fire. The weird thing is I've seen this movie twice now because I've had the ability to be able to check this out in subbed and in dubbed. Dubbed is really good. I'll go ahead and tell you that really quickly. But the animation of the actions of every single character, the way they're utilizing the character, their animation styles, like how their verbal nonverbals are going, how they move, how they fight, how they use their powers, how they use their abilities, like it all is completely there to the point that I was kind of like, okay, you know how like if you've seen any of the My Hero Academia movies, like they ramp it up, and this is no different. Like this, that's why I say that there's a lot for repeated viewing of anybody that loves the actual show. The other thing is that the sound design and the soundtrack. If you're seeing this in IMAX or if you're watching this in the theater, you're gonna be blown away by how some of this sounds. Like it sounds freaking awesome. It really does not hold back at all. That's one of the things that I was really pleasantly surprised by is that it's unapologetically its own thing because this is a prequel. You're left with this weird impression of who is Yuta, and the fact is that if you looked at the series, Yuta does not exist that we know of in anime at all. And then you have these strong individuals in Gojo and Suguru. Suguru and Gojo, they really do break them down in a very interesting way. Like I didn't suspect to get so much backstory with the character Suguru, because Suguru is one of the main antagonists, and you don't know. It's weird. Like he always is smiling, but you know he's evil dude. But to be fair, and I said this in my review, I've always felt like Gojo is an anti-hero in his own right because most of the time, unlike somebody like, even Suguru, who you can tell like he's an evil person just on surface, but internally he's got some interesting characteristics and beliefs that don't seem bad, right? Where it's like Gojo, like he is just all the way himself, and he does not hold back for anybody. And on the surface, he looks like a hero, but there are things about him that just do not add up, and it that makes me perceive this not only that he's so strong, but he is very dangerous. And it's weird. Like it's weird to have like a person that you classify as like a dangerous man, but then you kind of look at him like, no, like there's something off-putting about him. But other thing I was going to talk about with Yuta is his backstory. Yuta's backstory and how they utilize him in this movie is phenomenal because it starts off very dark. Again, and I've said this before with my review, which you should go and check out. I'll tag it at the very end of this. Is that there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of curses, there's a lot of demonic things going on, and the very opening shot of this is it sets the tone for that. It is very dark, very bleak. And this entity that you see right here is someone called Rika. And Rika is its own curse that is attached to Yuta in a very specific way that is near heartbreaking if you really understand the realization of what's really going on. But they utilize it so well because it defines this character Yuta, and somebody is like, man, as much as I love, what they did with Itadori, if they decided to make I don't know, I want to say like another prequel or whatever towards this character, I would follow it. I would really follow it because he's such a very fascinatingly different individual. And like he's strong in his own right, but he's not. It's so strange. I can't say too much about him because I don't want to spoil it, but the way they utilize his character, it is freaking awesome. It is really good, but it's not just good because of a visual standpoint, but it's also emotionally resonant. It's very important that you understand who he really is. And I think you really truly get that fully realized by the end of this movie in a very good way. Again, just what they allow somebody like Gojo to do, like truly be unleashed in a very interesting. There's a fight that happens in the city, and Gojo, like it's not just like a simple like one and done fight. Like no, they they let him go fully all out, and just to see that man work is insane visually. It really is amazing. But as far as the story, I think the story is the first time I watched the story, I think at the time I didn't finish all of the first season, and I was like hoping for something completely different. Like I think my expectations was to get one thing, and I got something completely different, and so I didn't have a good, clear understanding of what to expect. But after I finished the season, I was like, okay, this is a full true to form prequel that has no bearing on whatever happened the first season, other than certain characters. I was like, okay, I had a way better experience with it the second time around, because then I was like, okay, this isn't about our traditional characters. No, this is about these other characters that are also equally important. And again, going off a story, they allow you to kind of flesh out some of these characters. Panda, I think they don't flesh them out as much. I think they do a really good job with that with season one. But when it comes to like Toga and Mika, they really do flush them out in a very specific way and understanding who they really are. Because a lot of times they're kind of put to sideline characters. Mika, I think they definitely do a little bit with her sister in the first season. But with this one, they do something very specific that I really appreciate. Like she sets the tone with a lot of it. It's just this is a really good change of pace to see someone else take the front and center, and especially the way they use them. So I would say this movie, I'd give it easily a 9 out of 10. I think that they do so many good things with it. And if you're a fan of the actual anime, I think you're gonna be like, okay, this is worth it. And again, my second time watching, I enjoyed it so much more, and I was able to appreciate it so much more because just understanding some of the subplots, I think it may be to your benefit to finish the first season, then watch the movie. Because if I would have watched this on its own without understanding certain things, because there are certain, really why I leave this at a 9 and out of 10 out of 10 is that they do cut some corners, like certain things that they're able to do with their ability. They do some time jumps They like, okay, this was 2 months. Now this is a year, and now this is person can have this ability to do that. Now this person can automatically do this, and you don't understand how or why. And some of that it kind of falls to like inconsistent, but it's so entertaining, and it goes doesn't it doesn't waste any time. Those cutting corners are okay from the trained eye, but if you're being overcritical, you're kind of like, oh, okay, why did they do that? But all in all, I think you should go and check out Jujutsu Kaisen Serial, the movie. I think it would definitely be your benefit. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. And we got, again, you're going to see it somewhere over here around there, our non-spoiler review for season 1, or kind of, I guess, a little bit of spoilers, but I don't really go into too much spoilers, just like I did with this one. But I will possibly doing a overview, full spoiler discussion with a certain somebody, and hopefully a certain somebody with the M. He's gonna enjoy his journey with watching this film in IMAX with his wife. I'll talk to you guys soon. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Peace, guys.